Channel 77. We are not responsible for the dismal quality in this time slot.
And now, the late-night TV program that has America saying, I've tried everything else, maybe I can bore myself to sleep. It's Insomnia All Night. Join Doug and his guest, Warden Sam Quentin, and fisherman Marlon Sharkey. And now, here's your host, a man that never sleeps, Daryl Groves.
Well, don't be thrown by that uproarious applause I received. It's just my crew. Well, I'm glad to be here. If I wasn't here, I'd be somewhere else. Well, I've got bad news. As you can see, I couldn't stop them. They, Unified Cable, put me on the air again. So you're watching Insomnia All Night. You know, this show. I had a great weekend. Nothing happened. But I did rent some unrewound movies. And, it's cheaper that way. And so I spent the next 2 hours watching Paul Carlin rewire my VCR just to play them in reverse. Watching a video backwards, now, that really changes the meaning. For example, take The Wizard of Oz. Now, backward, it's about this girl on a real bad acid trip, seeing colors, until she gets investigated by the FBI right after the flick. I liked it that way, and if you thought that was weird, wait until you hear the story. What was weird is, it starts out with these three losers hanging out with this little girl, and one of them's got to be Ted Turner, because the next thing you know, it's in color. Right about the time when the wizard arrives for a midget convention. Then these three bozos force this little girl to march backwards down a highway to hell, singing to a mutt named Ot Ot. So they drop by this castle where this big moldy soldier steals her broom and then gives it to a dehydrated witch, who doubles as Smokey the Bear, and then gives this little brat a hot tip on her sister, who can't close escrow because she's under a house and she's got cold feet. So for a pair of slippers, this little girl picks up a house and in a 30-second whirlwind escrow, lands it back in Kansas, apparently killing Ted Turner. And then the flick ends, and then they start showing previews for FBI warning, FBI warning, FBI warning. Now that flick looks really good, but the tape in it I didn't get to see anymore. But, well, let's just wrap this up and get on with the show and find out who I got for guests, okay? I look at this man. It's no wonder that he's dead. He's the ex-host of the show. Oh, and look what they've given to me tonight to eat. Look at this. Salsa and chocolate chips. Who thinks of this? And I have to subject myself to this. I don't know why. What sort of hell do you think I'm in? Oh, it's pretty good, actually. It's health food. I don't know if you realize this. There's probably more healthy things in this than like in a pound of concrete. Chocolate chips. Salsa. I may have to have this when I get home. Well, we have an interesting situation to deal with now. My first guest, actually, is a rather unique individual. He runs a correctional institution for, people who've committed white-collar crimes. The place is called Rock Island. And please welcome him. Please welcome Sam Quentin.
Thanks, Hector.
Doug. The name is Doug. It's right there. Hello, my name is Doug.
Hello,
Doug.
my name is Doug.
Right.
Hello, my name is Doug.
Right.
Thanks, Don. Basically, yes, I am, or I should say I was the warden of the prison. I got some bad news today. I was fired by the board of supervisors today, so I'm no longer the warden.
No longer the warden? Really? Well, that's really too bad. I'm sorry to hear that. When did all this come about? I mean...
Just today. We just learned about it today.
Wow.
You know, of course, I got that big name going for me about Shotgun Sam, that type of thing. And
you were the toughest warden in the country.
I was the toughest guy, and that was the image I had. But Lou, basically, it was used as a scare tactic. You know, get these guys to know, hey, I'm in charge type of attitude. You know, turn the screws a little bit. So I'm disappointed.
Well, it's interesting. In the green room, you showed me this brochure here, Rock Island, and I was really more impressed that they use such, well, the colors, the pastel colors, I was impressed with for a prison.
Right.
But in here, I was noticing that you have fax machines and computers and golf courses for inmates, for people who committed crimes.
That's right, Tim. Basically, we have prisoners are from the business world. So you have to understand we have people, let's say, that are in there for insider trading, stock fraud, things of that nature. Of course, we've had politicians as far back as, remember Watergate, of course, and I think most recently the Iran-Contra affair. So we got them all in there. It's a unique situation.
Interesting, but I just can't believe tennis lessons and aerobic classes for criminals, for inmates?
John, we found it to be very therapeutic for our men, and you know, we like to think it real speeds them up into a successful, we call reintegration into the system again. So those things are important.
Well, interesting. I was reading a Justice Department study that said that 73% of the people who attend your prison end up coming back. That's alarmingly high.
Rawle, I think you'll find that some of those rates are a little bit staggering. It's kind of scary personally, but let me tell you, there are some guys who have come from this prison, and you know, they have made good. And those are the guys, you know who you are. We're proud of you out there in the working world.
That's interesting. Well, I've heard stories about prisoners refusing to take short sentences. They actually beg for long ones. Right. They want 12 years over 6. They refuse to leave after they're finished with their time. What are you doing to these men, Sam?
What we're doing, Lou, is we're trying to break down the level of corruptibility, basically by getting them to accept, you know, luxury things.
Luxury.
Right. We see the fear of living good is tempting to a lot of the members of the business community to go out and commit crimes. So these things that we have on today, that's luxury.
You mean what they're trying to do is commit crimes to end up in prison where it won't be comfortable, so that's why the fear of living good is enforced in your prison?
Right, right.
I'm glad I could say that. Very
right.
good. Well, you know what we've got to do? We've got to go to a break here, so we'll be right back with more Insomnia All Night. You know, this is really nice material.
That's cotton, Hector. That's 100% cotton. You
know
won't
what?
find
the name
that.
is Doug. Look,
Doug.
Could you just read that? D-O-U-G.
Well, you know, I got
Doug.
Doug. My name
Backwards,
is Doug.
it's, I don't know what it is.